Hello there. The intention of this video is to help people get started and complete the Gantt chart home learning. Okay, so today we need to have a look at this information. Okay, so there's some notes to read which explain and remind you what a work plan is. Okay, and I've provided a video on YouTube, and the link is on your Show My Homework to explain that. Okay, so if we're doing quite a complex task, the better we plan our time, with the better we think of all the resources we need, actually it will be easier to complete, but also we'll actually spend far less time on it and finish it a lot sooner. Okay, so there's some information for you to read here. Okay, and then this is the task. It says fill in the missing cells on this work plan for creating a YouTube video. Okay, so all you're actually asked to do is fill in the blank cells. So as we do all the time when we're in class, is we plan what our video or our poster or our booklet or our website or our animation is going to look like, because that's fundamentals, so that we know what we're doing. Okay, so we need a storyboard, but there's a missing task here. Now I've got to think to myself, well, what's the missing step? I've got a storyboard, then something, then editing, then uploading. Some contingency time, which is basically spare time in case things go wrong. So what on earth goes in here? So if we think about it, well, if it's a YouTube video, we need to film the video. So it would be filming. Now, on the resources column, okay, you need to list all the resources, because if you were doing a really, really complex task, okay, those resources might need to be hired or purchased or borrowed. So you don't want to start a project and then realize you need a vital piece of equipment. So it's really important to list the resources. And at the top here, it says hint. Examples of resources are hardware, so physical computer parts, software, so video editing, image editing, animation software, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, all the different software packages you are used to using, one of those. Okay, any equipment you may use to make this. So a storyboard, well, you've got two choices. Okay, you either do it on the computer, so you need a keyboard, you need a mouse, you need a monitor, you need the software, or you do it on paper. So I prefer doing mine on paper, so I'm going to have some paper, pencil, and ruler. Okay, filming, what do I need? Well, I'm not going to list them all for you, because otherwise I'm doing your work, but if you're filming, let's just spell that correctly, we need a camera. So it's going to need I'm going to go for HD video camera. But there's other things. I need some software to edit the video. There's lots of other things, but I'm going to leave you to try and think of some of those. Editing. So how do I edit a video? Well, I need some video editing software. Upload to YouTube. Yes, sounds very simple, but what do I actually need? If it's a really long video, I need reliable internet access. Okay, so you need to think about all the different parts of doing it I'm trying to do it without giving you all the answers. Okay, so once you've completed that, the next task I want you to do is look at the Gantt chart. Video that you have watched that I placed on Show My Homework, a Gantt chart is a more visual way of showing the structure and the plan for our project. Okay, and it's pretty straightforward. You list your tasks here. You have your time allocations here. Now this could be in hours, or you could actually have it in half-hour slots or 15-minute slots. It is perfectly fine to do whatever you feel is most realistic, okay? But I'm just going to keep my example really, really simple so you get the idea. So what I'm doing is I'm placing the chart at the top, the table at the top, and I'm going to represent it visually in a Gantt chart. Okay, so the first thing is I need to double click, like it says here, it says double click to edit the Gantt chart, okay, because that's an embedded Excel document, okay, so I double click that and then it gives me the Excel tools. So my first task was storyboard, okay. Now, I could just say, okay, storyboard's going to take 2 hours, okay, but let's think about that. Have I really broken that task down? Not really. So I've not really shown much thought beyond creating a very simple list. What I want to do now is break that storyboard down into more finer points, okay? And again, I'm trying to do it without giving you all the answers. So what I list isn't the full list, but you just need to give it some thoughts, okay? So storyboard. So I actually need to have devised a story, okay? What's my story going to be? Now that is quite a time consuming, okay? Now I'm going to say it's going to take me an hour, okay? To draw a storyboard, you need a script because you need to know what the characters are going to say. So script, okay? So I need another hour. So I don't place that here. I say, okay, hour one's going to be my story. Hour two is going to be a script, okay? Then I need to design my characters, okay? Now that's quite a tricky process. So I might say, actually, I'm going to need 2 hours for that because I need to think, I need to research some characters, I need to get some feedback on my characters. Quite a long process. Let's go for 2 hours. And let's say backgrounds. Okay, background designs. Let's be a bit more precise than that. Okay, background designs. Again, potentially, I'm just going to put an hour, but that could potentially take a lot longer. So then I need to think, okay, so I've got my background designs. Well, I haven't actually made or drawn my storyboard because I'm doing mine on with pen and paper. So draw storyboard, okay? And it needs to be a professional piece of work. So it's not going to just take 30 minutes. It's going to take potentially a couple of hours. So what I've done here, I'm working at a higher level. Why am I working at a higher level? Well, because I've shown and demonstrated the ability to break a task down into smaller parts. So the storyboard, I've thought about it and thought of all the little parts. And then I've been able to allocate some time. Probably what I could do, to be a bit more precise, is the hours could be turned into minutes. So I could have that as 30, 30, 30, 30. So then say the design characters, actually it might be an hour 30 rather than 2 hours, okay? And I'll leave you to make your own mind up on that one. Now, one last thing that I'm hoping you've spotted is the storyboard in total is now taking 7 hours. Okay, so I'm going to turn that into bold so that shows me how long the whole storyboard. So if my manager says to me, how long is your storyboard going to take? I can say 7 hours. They won't want to know all the detail, but I do. So what I'm going to do for the main task, I'm going to have a different colour. Okay, so I'm going to go green. But for the individual parts, I'm going to go yellow. Okay, now what you need to do is you need to add all the steps that was mentioned in the table above. Okay, and that is today's task. Save it once you're complete, upload to show my homework. I'm really looking forward to seeing these soon. Okay, take care.